Mingalaba, this is the weekly highlight news on Radio NUG. I'm James. Here is the news highlight for this week. The Solidarity Trade Union's Myanmar STUM claims insane prison prisoners are caught into advance voting in the junta's election. The Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government condemns the junta's airstrike on protesters, including children in Chang Township on the danger of Full Moon Day. The Women's Organization of Political Prisoners expresses grave concern over the increasing rearrest of the released political prisoners across Myanmar and other interesting news. These are the weekly news details. The Solidarity Trade Union's Myanmar STUM has alleged that prisoners and detainees in insane prison are being pressured and threatened to cast advance votes in the upcoming election organized by the military junta. According to STUM, its detained leader m.CDMMyanmar, who is currently being held in insane prison and facing charges under the Penal Code, the Unlawful Association Act and the Registration of Association Law, was brought before the court on 13 October. During the hearing, reports surfaced indicating that she and other inmates are being intimidated into advance voting. Prison authorities allegedly warned that refusals to participate would be recorded as objections, potentially leading to restrictions or disciplinary actions. STUN further reports that m.CDMMyanmar and other members facing legal proceedings appeared before the Shwebida Township Court on 13 October, where prosecuting witnesses were examined. According to STUM, a court hearing in the Association Registration Law case is scheduled for 23 October for continued examination of prosecuting witnesses. The statement also noted the reported arrest of m.CDMMyanmar by military authorities on 25 July, followed by the detention of 10 other STUM staff members between 26 and 28 July, the statement added. The National Unity Government NUG has alleged the military junta of the escalating war crimes and coercing civilians nationwide ahead of its planned election. In a statement, the Ministry of Human Rights of the National Unity Government condemned the junta's airstrike on Chang Township during the danger of Full Moon Day, which killed numerous civilians, including children, who were peacefully protesting the junta's sham election. The statement detailed that the Northwestern Regional Military Command, based in Myanmar, used paramortar to drop 2 120 bombs on the gathering as residents and children celebrated the Buddhist holiday by lighting candles. Later that night, around 11 p.m., junta forces allegedly launched a second attack, deploying 2 more paramortars to drop another 2 120 bombs directly onto a local school where the injured were receiving treatment, according to the NUG. A strike killed 19 civilians, including 3 children and 2 women, also 4 youth People's Strike Committee members and 14 men. A 2-year-old child reportedly died from the catastrophic injuries, according to the NUG. The attack also injured at least 40 civilians, including 20 children and 7 women and 13 men. The NUG warned that international and domestic organizations ignoring these atrocities or legitimizing the junta's election enable further violence. They cautioned that inaction will likely embolden the junta to escalate its terror against the population. The embassies of the United Kingdom, Australia, and Switzerland have each issued statements condemning the airstrike carried out by the military junta in Chang Township, Sakai region on the Full Moon Day of the danger. The British Embassy expressed deep shock and sadness over the civilian death, including children, during the secret Buddhist festival, stating there was no possible justification for the attack. The Swiss Embassy also condemned the assault, stating that indiscriminate air attacks against civilians constitute a violation of international humanitarian law. It called for the protecting of all civilians and for an end to violence. Similarly, the Australian Embassy called for an immediate end to violence, the safe delivery of the humanitarian assistance, and the release of all arbitrary political prisoners. The embassy reaffirmed that Australia stands in solidarity with the people of Myanmar and support inclusive dialogue to achieve peace and democracy. The Women's Organization of Political Prisoners has expressed grave concern over the increasing rearrest of the released political prisoners across Myanmar, saying such incidents have become more severe in recent months. According to a statement, the organization reports that military junta forces have been deliberately hindering the release of political prisoners by rearresting them at prison gates or finding new charges under the arbitrarily of unvalidated law just before their scheduled release dates. The organization noted that these actions clearly violate Article 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which prohibits arbitrary arrest and detention. The Women's Organization of Political Prisoners further stated that it will continue to cooperate with human rights defenders and relevant organizations to end arbitrary arrest, investigate and document such abuses, and advocate for the unconditional release of all remaining political prisoners still held in Myanmar's prisons. The United Kingdom and the United States have jointly imposed sanctions on the multi-billion-pound global fraud network involved in the financial scam operation that exploit and abuse trafficked workers, according to a statement released by the British Embassy in Myanmar. The network is reportedly linked to Cambodia-based Prince Group and is responsible for operating large-scale cyber fraud schemes across Myanmar, Cambodia, and other parts of Southeast Asia, the U.S. Department of the Treasury announced. Authorities from both countries highlighted that financial scam operations in Southeast Asia have been systematically deceiving victims worldwide through the sophisticated online fraud scheme. In 2023 alone, cyber scam originally from East and Southeast Asia caused an estimated $3.7 billion in losses, contributing to even greater global financial damage. The UK and US governments stated that these are coordinated sanctions to combat the growing transnational threat posed by this network and uphold human rights. Officials added that these enforcement actions will help expose and block the operation of the fraudulent network and reduce financial risks and losses of citizens in UK, Myanmar, and across Southeast Asia. These are the weekly highlight news of Radio NUG. We will present more interesting local news to you. Thanks for joining our news.